Good morning. Let's take a check of how the equity markets here in India are faring this Tuesday morning. After yesterday's precipitous fall, today's bounce was somewhat anticipated, particularly on the back of more news globally that seems to be easing the concerns somewhat about the Omicron variant. Of course, we're not completely out of the woods yet. We don't have conclusive evidence that it is not as virulent as it was previously thought. But the signs are positive, at least at this juncture. So that is having a bearing on the equity markets here in India. You have the start where the Nifty 50 is trading with gains of about 1%, back above the 17,000 mark. In fact, at 17,084, the Sensex gaining by close to 600 points and now trading at 57,327. That was what the start had, the SGX Nifty had indicated at the start of trade. The Nifty Bank making quite a pop today, gaining by as much as 1.7% and among the top sectoral gainers today. The losers yesterday were predominant in that the Nifty 50 had only one gainer at the end of trade. Today, the picture is almost entirely reversed, where you have just about 5 losers on the Nifty 50 at this juncture. And those are Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, Cipla, Divi's Laboratories, SBI Life and Asian Paints. So the pharmaceutical companies still having a little bit of a tough time, even in a situation where there is a bounce back. Yesterday, they were among the worst hit. Among the gainers, the top gainer is Kotak Bank, which is gaining about 3.7%. Metals remain predominant. Hindalco is gaining about 2.8%. Axis Bank joining the gainers among the private bank pack, and it's gaining about 2.3% at this juncture. Apart from that, you have JSW Steel, Tata Steel, HDFC, IndusInd Bank, SBI that are all gaining in trade. From the broader markets, you have the likes of Indiabulls Housing Finance. You have Delta Corp that is gaining 4.4%, and that is understandable on account of the expectation that Omicron might not play too big of a spoil sport. You have Chambal Chemicals, you have Interglobe Aviation that is gaining about 3%, Dalmia Bharat, Nalco, Indian Hotels, and I've told you about the rest. Among the losers, you have Metropolis, Dr. Lal, Pathlab, and this is also to be anticipated because these diagnostics companies had run up in the anticipation of the requirement for higher testing. Again, I will mention we're not completely out of the woods yet, and what was feared may still come to pass. So have a little caution when you approach the rebound trade as is being witnessed right now. In terms of some of the sectors that you have to bear in mind, it was all in the red yesterday, and today the only sector that is very clearly in the red, and that too not by such a large amount, is the pharma index that's losing about 0.2%. The biggest gainer is the metal pack, which is gaining about 1.9%, and then you have the banking pack like I mentioned. So all told, it seems to be a rebound. Of course, we're a day away from the announcement of the Monetary Policy Committee's decision, and that is going to be front and center for investors here in India. And of course, foreign institutions have been selling. They sold another 3,300 crore rupees worth of equity on a net basis yesterday. That is another factor that could have a bearing on where we head in terms of the benchmark right now.